Thank you, Your Holiness. Now, Artigan, as to your concerns...
The Inquisition established an armed presence in Ferelden territory. You outright seized Caer Bronach in Crestwood.
Yes, from bandits. Would you like us to give it back to them?
Your help was appreciated 2 years ago, Inquisitor. Now order has been restored, yet you remain. Invading under pretext of restoring order is exactly what the Grey Wardens did to us centuries ago, and we exiled them. Now the Inquisition is doing the same thing with Grey Wardens in their ranks.
Your concern is ill-founded. The Grey Wardens have proven their worth time and again.
Of course Orlais tolerates this interference. Without the Inquisition, Selene would have neither her throne nor her elven... Marquise.
Rest assured, Tegan, the Empire of Orlais will not stand idle if the Inquisition oversteps its bounds. Unlike Ferelden, however, Orlais understands that these were the well-intentioned mistakes of a young organization.
An organization in need of a guiding hand. Yours, no doubt.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. Divine Victoria wishes to speak with you in private.
My apologies. An urgent matter has come to my attention. Ambassador Montillier, can you handle this for a short while? Of course, Inquisitor.
This is highly irregular.
Perhaps it would be best if we took a short recess. The guard said we should both see this. I believe she was correct. A Qunari warrior in full armor. How did he get into the Winter Palace? Would the Iron Bull know anything about this? I asked, and he is as surprised as we are. Since becoming Tal Vashoth, he has had no contact with his people. He seems frustrated at not knowing more. So, what would the Left Hand of the Divine see when she looked at this? This is a warrior, not a spy. Part of the Antam, the Qunari military. Most of his wounds come from a fight against someone using magic, but at least a few are from a blade. He was badly hurt, separated from his allies, and made it here before he died. But how? Deadly mysteries at the Winter Palace. Throw in a Hulla statue and some Caprice coins and it's just like old times. Can Josephine manage the diplomats while I look around? She will be fine. It's all speeches and posturing for the first few days anyway. I will extend the recess as long as possible. I will also have our friends ready themselves for battle if need be. You think that's likely? I think the Exalted Council may be more exciting than we expected. It looks like he came down over the railing. An active Illuvian. If I'm going through it, I'm not going alone. This is the crossroads. Morrigan brought me here while showing me the Illuvians.
It's pretty, I guess. Kind of stretchy. Ugh. Too many colors.
I'd forgotten all the colors.
Colors? It all looks supremely drab to me.
But there's patterns all over. It's like glass from, where's it? Sorol, isn't it?
I wonder if it somehow looks different to elves.
How would that work? Eyes are eyes, or supposed to be. Oh, stupid place.
The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Let us see where this Qunari came from.
Judging by the bloodstains, he tried to get through here.
Is something wrong?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it. Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Qunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
They must be from the same faction. Both girded for war.
This, whatever this is not our honeymoon. Just so you know.
Congratulations, Sarah. This joining is a significant step upward for you. Whatever could be next? Stewardship? A title?
I have a title. It's wife.
Ugh, such a waste.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
The expended energy is remarkable. I'd say the spell was cast within the past hour.
We need to find out why these Kunari were here and who did this to them. Over there, Kunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
A spirit bound when the elves built this place. Because that could never go wrong.
What does it want? I'll try Elven. Andaran Atishan Sadaran. I think that spirit considered us intruders.
Maybe it's all the intruding we did? When we intruded?
It must have been set to guard something. That was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
Slaves? Of other elves? The old elves? Pissers.
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the dreadwolf Fen'Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Fen'Harel is our god of misfortune. A letter by the Kunari. Why are they translating it into our language? That illuvian only took us a short distance. That's the same lake we saw from the other tower.
So the old elves had many uses for these devices. Wounds on the back, no blood on his sword. Someone took him by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry. This is Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
He took great pains to renounce his supposed divinity.
But Fenny helping is bonkers.
To the Dalish, Fen'Harel is the great deceiver. Perhaps that's propaganda begun by the opposing gods.
This claims the elven gods were just Evanuris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Was this the start of an uprising? Freed elven slaves against their former masters?
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods. Ah!
What's wrong?
It felt like the anchor stung me. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
Creepy here, yeah?
Kunari! Why did those Kunari attack the Inquisition on sight?
Kunari never act without orders. A commander in the Qun must have given them.
Are you saying the entire Kunari nation wants us dead? That's Fen'Harel, removing a Dalish elf's Valisleen.
Not Dalish. They weren't Dalish yet, right?
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. Hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evanuris posing as gods.
Elven mages who hoarded power and slaves? One could see parallels to Tevinter's Magisters.
The Dalish are going to shit themselves.
This letter says the Kunari came to these ruins because the Illuvians connect to Halam Shiral.
A staging ground for an invasion?
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
You know, darling, this place gives me an idea for redoing the small summer breakfast room at Chateau Ghislaine.
You have a different breakfast room for every season.
A century ago, it was in fashion to have a different room for every meal and every day of the week. When that fad ended, the Dukes of Ghislaine converted most of the rooms to closets. Storage is timeless.
It's been too long since we've traveled together. I've missed it.
Glad you're back, Cassandra. You need a break, and I need you breaking things in front of me.
A note about an unknown intruder coming through an illuvian. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
A mage? They must have fought their way out, then let the spirits finish off the Qunari.
Two parties, then. The Qunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them. Come on. We have to warn people about the Qunari's designs on the Winter Palace.
One dead Qunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Qunari may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us.
They also have no reason to be here, or using Illuvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now, Your Holiness.
Cullen, please just call me Liliana.
Yes, Liliana.
The Qunari can't hide forever. They're inside those Illuvians, somewhere.
We must ensure that the Qunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
I know we're asking a lot of you, Ambassador. I promise we won't make this any harder for you than necessary.
My apologies. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
We, Your Holiness?
You do, Josie?
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Qunari are doing and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
Everything going all right so far?
I'm surprised no one from the Council of Heralds wants your autograph.
You just missed them. Duke Cyril keeps asking me for spoilers for my next book.
I don't understand how you just become a Viscount.
When the ruler of a Marcher state dies and there's no heir, the nobles of the city pick a new ruler. Only none of Kirkwall's nobles actually want the throne. Most of them think it's cursed, actually. They can't leave it empty, though, or some other state like Starkhaven or Ansburg will probably invade. I complained about the empty office when it interfered with my reconstruction efforts. They took that as volunteering.
Any word from Hawk?
I got a message from, well, best not to name an entire chain of smuggling syndicates in polite company. Anyway, Weishaupt is apparently the special kind of mess that only appears when Hawk shows up. I'm not entirely sure how it'll all play out, but my money's on Hawk walking away from the Warden's fortress as it explodes.
So, Bran used to be Viscount, and now he just follows you around?
Provisional Viscount.
Pretty much.
With a permanent appointee, finally, in the Viscount's office, I am free to return to my post as Seneschal.
He means my true calling is arrogantly telling people they can't talk to the Viscount. He's good at it, too.
We'll talk more another time.
I'll be here if you need me.
Was there something you needed?
Have you had a chance to speak with Liliana? Away from work, I mean.
Some, yes. Liliana has kept in contact, unofficially of course, but it's good to see her again. Arguing with her in person is far more satisfying.
Do you remember the first time we came to the Winter Palace?
All too well. I've already answered a half-dozen questions about my personal life. The reason we're here is because we made a difference. That's worth enduring the political small talk.
Is there any news from Ferelden? How is your family?
My sister Mia keeps me informed. As I understand, she's training my nephew to best me at chess.
All good news, then.
Not all, but most of it is, and that's good enough.
Is there anything I should know?
We were permitted soldiers here, but our every move is watched. Some things never change.
I should go.
Inquisitor?
Divine Victoria?
Please don't. It would be nice to just be Liliana again for a few days.
Oh, of course. Forgive me.
There's nothing to forgive. I just want it to be like old times.
Do you miss being our spy master?
I think I miss the people more than the work. Josie, Cullen, I didn't notice how much I liked having them near until they weren't. We're right, of course, but it's not the same.
Tell me about your nugs. Did you get any new ones?
Oh yes! A litter was born just a month ago. We are weaning them right now. If you are hoping for one, I'm afraid they're already spoken for.
Have your agents any news I should hear about?
There is activity in the Tirashan. Strange elves, like those at the Temple of Mythal. No news of Solus, however.
Perhaps later, Liliana.
I'll be right here if you need anything.
Darling, what can I do for you?
I wanted your opinion of how Divine Victoria is working out.
Liliana is managing to hold the Chantry together, just barely. Likely your influence.
There are things for the Circle of Magi.
If you call it the Circle while they're in earshot, you'll never hear the end of it, my dear. The College of Enchanters is a ridiculous mess, but it's still a useful institution for training mages.
We'll talk another time.
Quite the party, wasn't it? I hear it left the Orlesians and Fereldans completely aghast. Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor, toasting a Tevinter Magister. Not a bad scandal to leave on.
What is this ambassadorship about, exactly?
I believe my father set it up, but the Imperium certainly didn't object. They'd love for the Inquisition to fall apart, so they're happy if it seems they consider this council a waste of time.
That makes no sense.
No? If Dread Tevinter actually pushed for the Inquisition's end, everyone else would disagree on principle. So they send a nobody pariah and hope for the best. Makes perfect sense to me.
What did you do in Tevinter while you were away?
I went home. Twice. Father was only there once. Mother was drunk both times. I also went to Carinus to see my good friend Maeveris. Then I settled some of Alexis's affairs. That wasn't fun.
Any thoughts about the Exalted Council?
A few. Divine Victoria needs a new tailor for one. From the paintings of Liliana in that enormous robe, you'd think she was pregnant. Could cause a delicious scandal. As for this whole Exalted Council business, well... I warned you once that no one would thank you for saving the world. Sadly, I'm always right. So long as the Inquisition's around to remind them they're not really in charge, they'll never sleep comfortably. Whether they have the guts to take action, I suppose we'll see.
Another time.
I look forward to it.
Need me for anything?
It's nice to have everyone back in the same place again.
I have to admit I missed it. What does it mean when we need a huge diplomatic talk or the world ending just to bring us together? I got the chance to have a few drinks with Sarah. Miss that girl. It's still a little awkward talking to Cassandra. But the commander appears to have forgiven me. Finally.
You're more comfortable being called by your real name now?
Comfortable? Not quite yet. I didn't want to be Rainier for such a long time. To be quite frank, he was an ass. But I've changed. And reclaiming my name has allowed me to reconnect with people I haven't seen in years. Family. It wouldn't have happened without you.
What do you think's going to happen at the Exalted Council?
Maker, I have no idea. Politics always makes my head spin. The Inquisition shouldn't have to give in whenever some prissy noble gets their knickers wedged somewhere.
Until later.
Take care.
Wish I hadn't burned all my contacts with the Ben Hastrath. Be nice to have some idea what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but then you'd be on their side, Chief.
Yes, but I'd know things. I like knowing things.
The Chargers have been with the Inquisition for a while now. Is everyone still happy?
No complaints, Your Worship. The Inquisition's been good to us. We'd disband and join the Inquisition officially, but the Chief gets this sad dog look when we suggest it.
The loyalty is touching, Krem.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss.
Hello, and shh. I'm trying to figure out why everyone is acting so weird. I mean, besides because Canary assassins and everything. You see it, right? There's something going with the elf servants. Makes sense after that ruin, right?
When you start going on about elves, it's hard to tell if it's about them or you.
Yes, you're ever so clever. Arse. Point is, the servants have no complaints. No asking for a Jenny. They serve this lot, but don't want them done for anything.
So, the nobles are nice, and the servants are happy?
Two things that have never been true. Mark that I said it. We're fighting Canary, but something else is on the up.
I suppose you've a lot to say about that elven ruin. About the creators.
They're not even demons, just big magey knobs punching down. And yes, the shits who use them to make me feel broken can still eat it. But always waiting for that fight is way too much work. It's like doing half the hurt for them. Maybe we're old now, but I'm tired of it. I'd rather worry about people I care about. Like you. Are you all right with it? The creators.
I'll make sense of it eventually.
Good that someone's trying. Better that it's you, because you can do it.
It's been a couple of years. How's everything sitting with you?
It's weird meeting back up and seeing everyone get their grey. First time I've been anywhere long enough to get fond of things. Leliana's friendly when she wants to be. My people sometimes do things for her, like I do for you. Well, not quite like I do for you. How's it feel to be the reason for all of it? Especially for me. That's my biggest growy, uppy love. Being for someone else is brilliant.
I can't stop thinking about everything you said.
Never cared about words until I got vows. Now they're everything. You're everything.
We'll talk later.
Oh, one thing. My new Jenny near Wycombe says your clan's doing well. Nice that some things work out, even if everyone's too busy to notice. That's why I notice things.
How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages.
I hear you've been rebuilding the Seekers.
Slowly, but yes. I managed to find a few of my former comrades who'd scattered to the winds. Some of them were unsuitable, and I did not ask them to return. Others felt as I did, once they read the Lord Seeker's tome. We've since recruited a few candidates who are going through training now, with full disclosure. What comes after this, I cannot be certain. I'm making it up as I go along.
I'm sure you'll be fine, Cassandra.
I need to be better than fine. I want to build something that is worthy of lasting.
So what do you think of the Chantry?
You ask me just to poke at me and see if I react, don't you? It is what it is. Most Holy's reforms are interesting, to say the least. I hope they last once Leliana is gone. Regardless of what I think, it could have been far worse. You and I both remember the dark times we faced. Sadly, others have far shorter memories.
What do you think of the Exalted Council?
They are frightened of your power, and there is no longer a hole in the sky to remind them that it was needed.
Maybe what they need is a quick reminder of that power.
Only if you want to stiffen their resolve. Even so, I would wait and see where this leads. Calmer heads may yet prevail.
When has that ever been the case?
I'm an optimist. Just ask Varric.
I'll see you later.
Farewell.
I do hope you recovered from your night at the opera. Any ear-ringing should go away in a day or two. Tell me, these strange spaces past the Alluvians, are they safe to explore?
We're taking every precaution we can, Josephine.
I will take your word for it. And yet, You've accomplished so much in the calm of these past years. I wish you did not have to imperil yourself for us. Again.
I don't like to worry you, but... thank you, Josephine.
You're most welcome. Tell me if there's anything I can do to help. I will do what I can here. Once the Canary are dealt with, brace yourself. The Council is just as relentless.
That path wasn't there before.
All right. Let's see where they were going.
So that's how the Kunari moves the paths.
Do a thing, rocks move. Switches are fine, whatever they look like.
Right, heavy demons. Let's kill some ruddy demons.
Those Kunari can't have gotten far. Be ready.
Why did Elfie Mirror dump us in the middle of dwarfy things? And why do we keep going through them?
We need to find out what these Kunari were up to. So let's go see, shall we? Looks like there was a bad cave-in. Look at all that. The Kunari have a huge operation here.
But why?
They could bring the whole cabin down. This place isn't stable.
Once again, your mark is glowing. Are you all right?
Well, maybe the anchor can make itself useful down here.
Stay back! Oh, wait. Your hand. Are you the Inquisitor?
Odd to find a human down in the deep roads at all, let alone one surrounded by Kunari.
We don't have much time. Please, what the Vidasala is doing, you have to stop her.
The Vidasala?
She's the leader of the Kunari here. She hates magic. Her job was to study it and stop it at all costs. Not anymore. I don't care whether you serve Fen'Harel or not. Someone has to stop her.
Why did the Kunari think that the Inquisition serves Fen'Harel?
I don't know. The Vidasala said it, and well... You're Dalish. It made as much sense as anything. We've had agents of Fen'Harel causing trouble all over the crossroads. Sabotage, making spirits attack us. I assume the Inquisition was their army. That you came here because Fen'Harel told you to.
Who are you exactly?
My name is Jeren. Sir Jeren, once. I was a Templar in Kirkwall. Until I joined the Qun.
You're Kunari?
Kirkwall was... madness. Chaos. The Kunari were like the eye of a storm. I stand for order and discipline. Protecting the innocent from magic. But this plan... it's as mad as Meredith ever was.
What do you mean? This Vidasala's not doing her job anymore?
Almost a complete reversal, actually. This place is a lyrium mining and processing center. The Kunari need it for... Have you ever heard of Sarabas? It's a mage. Except Kunari mages are much more dangerous than those among humans or elves. Even as a Templar, I'd never seen anything like the power Sarabas can unleash. And now Vidasala is giving them lyrium. A lot of lyrium. It's part of something she calls Dragon's Breath. There's more to it than that, but I couldn't find out what. The Kunari don't like it when you ask too many questions.
Where are we? Why are there elven mirrors in the deep roads?
This place is close to... something like a lyrium spring. The more we mine, the more there seems to be. As for the mirrors, I don't know. Maybe the elves were mining here too.
What are you doing down here?
The Kunari wanted me to teach them everything I knew about lyrium. Where it comes from, everything it can do, how we put it to use. I knew enough from my time in the Order. They figured out more. I'm not sure how. Maybe they got to the Carter.
The Kunari can't be mining their own lyrium. It kills anyone who tries, other than dwarves.
It killed the Kunari at first. But Kunari workers have a discipline only Tranquil can match. And they're quick learners. They figured it out.
That's not seriously the name of the plan, is it? Dragon's Breath.
You know that most Dragon's Breath destroys everything in its path, right? She said it would save the South. That can mean only one thing. An invasion. This mine is the only source of lyrium the Kunari have. They're using Gatlock, the explosive powder in the round casks, to mine, so they don't have to touch raw lyrium. If you get the primers from Central Supply, you can prime the Gatlock and detonate it. The mines will go up in flames.
Once things start exploding, every Kunari down here will notice.
You're right, they will. Deep Stalkers and cave-ins will cut off reinforcements, but they'll still come when they hear trouble. You've got to find the Vidasala to end this war before it begins.
There's no telling how bad things will get when I destroy the mine. You'd better get moving.
I will. Good luck, Inquisitor.
Let's go. We have a lyrium mine to ruin.
Why are dwarves so short but carve their tunnels so tall?
We saw the Kunari make these things explode. Maybe we can use them to get out of here.
Dwarfy walls should glow. That's what makes them dwarfy.
Last time, it took an exalted march to stop the Kunari, and that barely worked. If they strike now, Thedas may fall.
There's one of the mining platforms. Now we just need primers. This cavern is barely holding together. If that Templar was telling the truth, the primers should be in here.
We're blowing this up, right? Brilliant!
We've got the primers. Let's go explode some Gatlock.
Are you quite all right, Inquisitor? It hasn't escaped me that the anchor is acting up.
When it flares, I feel the pain from my palm to my jawbone.
When we return to the palace, I'll find you something to ease that. Dorian and I will have to put our heads together, but we should find some way to slow it down.
That's it. Let's get out of here and warn the others about this Dragon's Breath plan.
We may have to swim out, my dear. Let's hurry.
We should see where that leads.
After all the places we have been, I hardly expected to find us in another cave.
Cave beats fade. Barely.
Poor man. He didn't make it far. So, who gets to tell Cullen and Josephine we're probably at war with the Cure? Anyone?
As if.
They're going to kill me.
Dragon's breath. The Kunari always enjoy their metaphors.
But what does it mean?
Who knows? Kunari agents moving through Illuvians to attack the south is bad enough already.
I still do not understand why they accused the Inquisition of serving Fen'Harel.
We know that Mythal actually exists. It's possible Fen'Harel is still here in some form, too.
What you describe in the ruins certainly implies that the Dread Wolf of Elven legend is a real person.
But how does that implicate us? What made them decide that the Inquisition serves this Fen'Harel?
Hopefully we will learn more after we have stopped them.
Let's see the Exalted Council try to disband the Inquisition after we've saved them from this Dragon's Breath.
We must find out what Dragon's Breath is first. For now, our only lead is the Kunari leader, the Vidasala.
Gentlemen!
My apologies, Lady Josephine. There has been an incident with one of your soldiers.
How dare you? It was bad enough that the Inquisition chose not to inform the Exalted Council of the Kunari Corps.
Orlais would have been happy to help with the matter.
But now your own guards are attacking servants? You have overstepped your bounds.
We have more important things to worry about than scuffling soldiers.
While the Exalted Council is our foremost priority, the Inquisitor will, of course, address this matter personally.
Thank you, Inquisitor. Orlais stands ready to assist the Inquisition, as always.
Secrets and lies. Do you understand why we fear your Inquisition? You act as if you're the solution to every problem. How long before you drag us into another war?
What's going on here?
The Orlesians tried to take one of our people, Inquisitor. We've secured the area.
This is the Winter Palace.
You cannot simply seize control when one of your guards attacks a servant.
The Inquisition is handling this. When some noble commits a crime of fashion, you can take over.
I only asked what he was doing.
And when I refused to bow to the Inquisition's dogs, you attacked me! How would you like us to handle the situation, Inquisitor?
That barrel there, where did it come from?
I was ordered to bring wine for the guests.
You're lying.
Your Inquisition soldiers are completely out of control.
No, we're in control. Keep talking and you'll find yourself in chains.
Please take the servant into custody.
Right away, Your Worship.
Inquisitor?
Ambassador Montillier will explain later. For now, please hold the servant for questioning.
As you say, Inquisitor. Lord Cyril will hear about this.
Inquisitor, I also found this by the barrel. I can't read the language.
Did you resolve the problem with the guard?
The guard is the least of our problems. Someone smuggled Gatlock barrels into the Winter Palace.
Smile, Inquisitor. There are many eyes upon us. At least now we know the true extent of the dragon's breath.
How are you still smiling?
Years of training as a bard, Inquisitor. We cannot show weakness now. Enemies could be watching, or we can let them seize idle conversation between two friends.
You think the dragon's breath is these Gatlock barrels?
Of course. A surprise attack, even through the Illuvians, would have met fierce resistance. But if everyone at the Exalted Council died in an explosion, the South would be rudderless, vulnerable to attack. This is what Corypheus should have done after the explosion at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. An attack as swift and unstoppable as the breath of a dragon.
The guard who confronted the servant said she found this note near one of the barrels. It looks like Kunari writing.
Let me see. I picked some up from the Iron Bull, though I'm told my accent is atrocious. These are orders for positioning the Gatlock in the palace. When duty has been performed, report to the Vidisala through the mirror marked by a bookcase.
I've been hoping to meet the esteemed Vidisala. How nice of her to invite us over.
Good. While you do that, I will have agents locate the Gatlock barrels and remove them safely. I will also send word to my foreign contacts. We must see where else this dragon could strike.
Canary first, mix with elves, add dwarfs. Ugh, doesn't anyone drink their booze one at a time anymore? And the elves here are still squirrely.
What can you tell me about the Kunari we're dealing with?
These aren't Ben Hasrath. They're specialists, working for a Vidisala. Ben Hasrath handle normal security. The Vidisala's people focus entirely on magic. They find it, they study it, they neutralize it. And they must be desperate if they're using Illuvians. I'd expect them to shatter any mirror they find.
The Canary will feel the loss of their lyrium. It is not an easy commodity to come by. You've done well. The Exalted Council, meanwhile, has deadlocked.
Does that help us or not?
It is dangerous, yet also an opportunity. You will be called in soon. Move boldly and swiftly, and you may decide the outcome. You are their equal here, Inquisitor. It is time we reminded them of it.
Be careful, Inquisitor. We have a ways to go yet.
I knew it was foolish to hope the Exalted Council would go smoothly.
How much damage control should we be doing?
Josie is worried, but I have faith in her. She can keep the delegates calm.
This time of year, it'll be difficult to find a caravan to go all the way back home. Maybe a sea voyage. I could get captured by burly Canary pirates. That would be fun.